All right, Miss Sanchez, whenever you're ready.
Okay, guys. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
How has your day been before we get started to the
Not
intents
good.
of Team Reach? We have covered a few chapters. And the last chapter that we covered, does anybody remember what we talked about? Mr. Brian Pryor.
We talked about, what was that? Goals and dreams.
Goals and Dreams,
Mhm.
Lesson 8.
Mhm.
Okay, do you remember we discussed that a pregnancy or an STD or HIV might make things a little harder to reach those goals and dreams as we discussed them?
That's right.
Okay. It is harder, students. At a young age, it is very hard to make a decision and stick to your decision. There's challenges, opportunities that approach us when we least expect. So before I get started in our lesson for today, I would like to review, of course, cell phones, guys. You need to turn them off. Okay, that's one thing. Cell phones must be turned off. Another main rule that we have in class, we respect each other. If we all say we respect down the line. Whatever you feel is good for you might not be okay for you, but we're going to respect and we're going to try to compromise and balance our differences. And then what we talk about in this class stays in this class. We don't want to take it to the other class. Team Reach is a very unique class. We get to talk about a lot of things with parents' permission, so we don't want to go out there and throw our business out there to other classes. Okay? That's one thing. The power to say no, sticking to my decision. Okay? The objectives, we're going to reinforce students' decisions of how they will avoid an STD and a unexpected pregnancy. Learn that everyone has the right to say no at any given time, regardless of what has happened in the past. And consider effective ways to say no when pressured for sex. And one thing that I would really like to work with you guys today is practice saying no in a pressure situation. I am pretty sure that we all have been in different situations with pressure. And sometimes we have a plan and that plan doesn't follow through because we do have unexpected situations. And we need to be ready, guys. We need to be ready to say no. And when you say no, it's how you say no that means no. But we're going to demonstrate a little play later on and show you the differences. And the activities sticking to your decision is the first one we'll be discussing. So yes, in lesson 8, Mr. Pryor, we did discuss the pregnancy or the STD or the HIV might make it harder to complete our goals and dreams, and that is absolutely true. It doesn't say that we can't follow our dreams. It's going to become a little complicated. Unexpected situations that arise in our life that will complicate things. Like Mrs. Sanchez, myself, I like to use myself as a prime example. I had a son and a daughter, and I was going for my master's, and it was hard. I had a husband that supported the situation of me going to school, but it was hard, If I would have probably been single, no children, I would have probably ran right through the college and got my master's and would have been okay, but it didn't work out. I got it done. It took me 2 years longer than it would take anybody. Okay, so that was pretty much on lesson 8. At the end of that lesson, we made a decision of how every individual would avoid getting an HIV or another STD, and how they would not get pregnant until the right time for a family arises. Do you remember we all agreed to this?
Yes.
Guys, Ms. Sanchez needs your feedback. We did cover it in class. Laura, do you remember what we talked about?
Not really.
Not really, oh dear. Mr. Pryor, you want to help her?
We talked about how our goals and dreams could be affected by unexpected pregnancy or obtaining an STD or drug and alcohol use, and how these things could affect our progress completing.
Exactly. Okay, I would like for someone to read to the classroom, and I guess I will pick you, sweetheart, since you've been so good, your phone has been turned off. Could you kindly read this? And this is the key message poster.
Okay. Having sex is a big decision. Abstinence is the healthiest choice. Teens who have sex must use condoms and birth control correctly every single time.
Do we agree? Or disagree? Mr. Peterson,
Yes.
what kind of message did you get when she read our message poster?
See, actually, I do agree that you shall protect yourself at all times due to the fact that there are many things that you can get that you cannot wash off with soap and water. And due to that, it is common that it is out there. It can happen if you do not protect yourself. You will have these things.
You know, he said it. It is out there, guys. And if you have any doubts, there's meetings that we can go to, field trips that we can go interact and meet people, okay? So this message is very strong. So once you have made that decision, which we have, about which of those two ways you guys will be using, the next step is to put that decision into action.
Ms. Sanchez, do we have to use them both at the same time, or can I just use a condom?
Well, it states, you use the condoms and birth control.
But I'm only
Correctly.
responsible for me, you know? I have a condom, I can't make her
You
take
need
a
to
pill.
make that decision. It was one or the other, there's two. So, you make that decision, so it goes back on you. And you need to learn to say no. When it's no, it's no. And we're gonna cover the different ways we can say no that will send that strong message when there's pressure in the situation. Okay, so let's move on. And in this lesson, you will learn how to take action to stick to your decision and how to say no that you have decided not to do. In real life, not too many people actually know how to say no. Our young teenagers, in reality. Most young people, I think there's a 60% that they wish they had waited a little longer. That's a high percentage, guys, 60%. And many girls report that they really didn't plan to have sex. It was more like it just happened. Some are even kind of like forced against it, you know. They want to be against it, but they're kind of, should I say, they're somehow involved, they get involved having sex with them really not wanting to. So should I say a certain level of pressure that convinces them that it's okay to have sex. And after the fact, they realize that they have made a mistake. And of course, 60% of them say that there was no protection. Okay? Does anybody have any questions right now that we can stop and, or sleepy or tired or what happened? Okay, so you must understand that there are several important rules when it comes to sexual pressure. Setting your limits, what is okay and what's not okay, and a person's ability to say no. Do we agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, good. There's two rules. There's two rules to this. And the first rule is everyone has the right to say no. Point blank, no. means even if everyone has the right to say no to sex, even if, one, you have said sex, you have said yes before, you can still say no. Another one, if you have been making out, kissing and hugging and on,